recent Global Forest Watch report indicate that between 2017 and 2018, Ghana's rate of deforestation rose by 60%, the highest in the world. The same report singled out agricultural expansion in the middle and southern belt of Ghana and mining in the northern sector of the country as leading in this unfortunate state of affairs. The sad situation is that all the cocoa produced from these illegal activities are wholeheartedly welcomed into the supply chain by licensed buying companies and the COCOBOD. It is believed that in Ghana, as high as 20 to 25% of our cocoa is coming from illegal sources. Yes, illegal sources. That is expanded admitted farms and encroachment into forest reserves to produce these cocoa. A recently reported statement of the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Cocoa Board sought to shift the blame of cocoa-driven deforestation to timber loggers. Speaking in Switzerland to a group of chocolate manufacturers, the COCOBOD CEO is quoted as saying, and I quote, "Though cocoa have been planted on lands in Ghana which in the past were reserve forest, the activities of lumbering companies reduced the forest before cocoa farmers converting the depleted vegetation into cocoa farm," unquote. He further stated that, and I quote, "So in effect, it is not cocoa farmers who cause deforestation, but now the general idea is that cocoa is causing deforestation. I beg to differ," unquote. These assertions by the CEO of COCOBOD appears to indicate that cocoa farmers only go into the forest after loggers have already removed some trees, and therefore cocoa farmers or cocoa production cannot be said to be causing deforestation. In response to this unfortunate statement, the Ghana Civil Society Cocoa Platform wishes to debunk the following misunderstanding created by the CEO of the Cocoa Board. Indeed, timber loggers harvest trees from forest reserves and deplete the forest of trees, which will not allow the forest to perform its functions effectively, and that is forest degradation. But timber loggers do not convert the forest land to cocoa farms or to other land use. It is the cocoa farmers that do that. Ordinarily, if logged areas are left for a number of years, they will recuperate or regenerate. But when farmers invade and convert the logged areas into cocoa farms, they change the forest land use. And that is the problem that we are articulating. That is deforestation that we are articulating. The CEO's statement, or the CEO cannot confuse these two very similar but different phenomenon. For the CEO of COCOBOD, which is a major partner in most of the interventions aimed at reducing deforestation, especially within the cocoa landscapes, to openly relitigate the fundamentals of these programs raises issues about their commitments to these programs. It also damages Ghana's image and reputation to international partners. It questions whether our leaders really know what we are doing. The program that this statement that was made by the COCOBOD CEO damages the most is the Cocoa and Forest Initiative, whose central theme is the recognition that cocoa production is causing deforestation and that it can be minimized through collaborative efforts of governments, civil society, and cocoa companies. It becomes a betrayer of the process if a key signatory to the program begins to question the basis for the program. We, as the Ghana Civil Society Cocoa Platform, understand that cocoa is the backbone of Ghana's economy. But we also need to know that if we continue this business as usual scenario, there wouldn't be any arable land to plant cocoa in the few decades to come. It is our considered opinion that when duty bearers and people who are supposed to champion the fight against cocoa-driven deforestation use international platforms that is given to them to rather denigrate and counter efforts being made, it becomes a sad event. In question was talking to international private sector players who have shown commitment to address the problem of cocoa-driven deforestation. We therefore call on the Cocoa Board and its CEO to clarify their position on cocoa-driven deforestation, because the current position, or this current position that they hold, is not supported by the facts on the ground, and it's not also supported by the statistics that have been churned out by government and research.